Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent to that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from hitting your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop. You're the kid.
No, I'm not.
Alan, don't scare everybody. It's okay to run your own business. It's okay to go out there in the wild world of the entrepreneur world. I was on a podcast the other day, and somebody said, so what's the name of your book? And I said, it's called From the Zoo to the Wild. Wow, that's an interesting concept. Why? And so I broke it down. I said, well, I was in the corporate zoo, man. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, I was all that, man. I had 400 people working for me. I had the custom-made suits. I had the corner office. I had the Mercedes-Benz. Alan, my partner here, had the same freaking thing going. And we were big daddies, man. And we were making big bucks.
And we walked away from it.
Because I sat there and went, man, they're just feeding me bananas. But I want to see what's on the other side of that concrete wall. I know I can do better. I know there's a wild world out there where I can do way, way better than I'm doing now, Alan.
How are we doing?
We're running a podcast called The Small Business Safari.
Wait, how are you as a podcast guest? I haven't heard it.
So not as energetic and fun as I am with you.
A little more buttoned up?
I am a little more buttoned up, but I love it when people ask me good questions.
Do you drop the F-bomb?
I do not drop the F-bomb. I kind of keep it really closer to the vest because I don't know exactly who their audience is, and I don't want to alienate, especially because I've been on 4 different faith-based podcasts.
You don't seem to be afraid of alienating people on our podcast.
Yeah, fuck no. And by the way, I'm still faith-based. And because last time I checked, man, that thing wasn't in the Bible. I'm good. That's not one of the top 7. I'm all good. He'll see me at church, the Catholic Church. But I'm about to go down bad. Man, Pope Leo's going to take me out. But Papa Leo, no. Yes. So we had some fun, but man, we've been talking about this wild world of what we're doing and jumping out into the entrepreneurship land. And we got a chance to meet our guests through networking groups. You know, we get out there, we try to do some things, and we have a group that we go out there and try to look for interesting guests to bring to you to help you, the small business team, get better at what we're doing, make our stuff happen, get it up to board. And today we have Alfredo Salkeld on, who's going to talk about death to the voicemail.
I don't think you got his name right.
What?
I don't think you got his name right.
Shit. Cindy. Did I get his name right?
No, I think you got it right.
Oh, Alan. Hey,
No.
Cindy, cut Alan out. In fact,
no.
from now on, bleep everything Alan ever fucking says. That was so rewarding. Thank you, Alan. I feel so much better. Alfredo.
I think he's just being gracious.
I thought he was a paisan. You know, I was looking at that last name. I'm like, a little close, Salkeld. And I'm like, could have been.
He was not reacting to you laying on the Italian road.
I know. I was thinking it was good. And then I find out, actually, his whole family is from Peru. And so before we get on, I mentioned that my son has a lot of Latino friends, and they're very tight. Even after, here they are, 24 years old, and they're still a tight group. Every time he comes back, they get together, and it's so much fun to see these guys because they're just really good guys. And I used to say kids because I knew them since they were middle school.
Don't use the word youngster. I think that's when you've officially start circling the toilet when you say youngster.
Youngster? Listen here, youngsters. How about back in my day? In fact, these are the same kids that used to ask me, like one of them loves to come up to me and say, so, can I ask you a question, Mr. Chris? Yeah. So when you played football and they didn't have face masks, how did you hide your nose? That was awesome. And then another one come up and go, yeah. So when you went to school, did you have to tie up your horse in front of the school? And did you have to carry the candle in with you so you could see?
Wow.
I love these kids. But Alfredo, I'm sure you're not like that. So you're much more respectful than those little cretins. Can you say that?
Cretins is a good word.
That's a good one. The good one. All right. Alfredo, man, we want to talk a little bit more about you and what's going on. But before we talk about what you do, tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
Yeah, so originally from Lima, Peru. I moved to the U.S. when I was 2 years old, grew up in Florida, and now I live in Durham, North Carolina.
So where did you go to school in Florida for college?
I went to the University of Central Florida, which
So
I think
I
it's the
love this.
second largest university in the US. A lot of
That's right.
people go there.
Oh, I love it. You know that cheesy style. I was going to say second largest university in the U.S., right? And it's in Central Florida. Do you want to know where the University of South Florida is?
In Central Florida.
It's in Central Florida. Which one's further north?
Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask about
Uh,
this. If I don't have a
so
Google Maps in front of me, but it's Tampa and Orlando, so they
it's
should be,
very close.
Yeah, they're
yeah,
just
they're just
So
next to each other.
literally, University of South Florida is technically, I guess, north of where.
Oh, I did not know that. There's a
Yeah.
little piece of trivia.
So because the University
I'm
of South
gonna
Florida
look
was the
right now.
first public school established in Florida, and they called it the University of South Florida. And I know that because my general manager at my company is from Orlando, originally from the Tampa area, went to Florida, but he tells me that story, and I just started dying. I'm like, really? But Central Florida, second biggest university in the nation. Nice, well done. Now you're in Durham, North Carolina. You're in the cradle of academia and smart people. So, Alfredo, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about what you've done, what you've built. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I right now am building a company called Up First, and we have an AI receptionist for small businesses. So the idea is you probably have a bunch of calls that go to voicemail. People hate leaving voicemails, or you're in the middle of something, you can't get to a call. This thing picks up for you. You tell it what information you want to collect from callers. You can connect your calendar, and it essentially serves as your little robot front desk receptionist.
All right. So, AI, man, it's the term, right? I mean, it is. Alfredo's a little younger than us, Alan. This is like TV back in, well, your day. Maybe electricity back in my day. But it's a disruptor, right? It's something that everybody's talking about, but doesn't know how to tactically implement in a small business. So my challenge every time when somebody throws that at me is like, give me one thing you do in your business where you use it. And here's a good example of one. And I've heard a lot of stories, bad and good, about what you're talking about. So let's kind of piece this out a little bit and talk about what's bad about AI receptionists and what can be good about AI receptionists.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the first to say if you can hire a really good full-time person to man your phones, it is going to be better than AI. It just is. If you have someone who really knows your business, knows your customers, knows it in and out, I mean, is there anything better than that person being able to pick up the phone and just handle the shit that you need? I mean,
But the
no.
prob
But
the problem with that is that you have to give them time off. Well, Chris doesn't,
No,
but
I don't. Yeah, no. I would tell you the problem to overcome on that one, and we'll go back to you in just a minute, Alfredo. The problem to overcome that is that you
eventually,
hire correctly. You hire a lady whose kids have got out of the house, they're gone. The old man ain't around, and she just likes her cats, and she just has her cat sweater on, and her whole life is your business. Yes, thank God, thank you, Amy. No, she is not that,
does
but
she
Amy.
really wear cat sweaters?
No, she doesn't, and she doesn't have cats either. Um, but he's right. I mean, Alfredo, you're actually speaking the truth that a lot of people aren't willing to hear because the salespeople come to you and go, "Oh, they're way better, right? They never have to take a break. They don't have to go out and take a smoke break. They don't have to go out and take time off because they're not feeling good or this or that or the other." So you have the AI receptionist, but if they don't know your people, right? Here's the issue, right? If they don't know your people or your cadence or how you do things, they may say things wrong or they may do things wrong. But so let's keep talking about this and how to implement this correctly.
yeah, I mean, usually what I see is people are trying to they have a few different issues. One is maybe they have a really good front desk person, but what happens when you have a really good front desk person and you're running things well? You get busier and then you get more calls, right? And this person can't suddenly answer two calls at once. So there's going to be some overflow, some number of calls they get to, or right, this person wants to go home and people are calling after 5 or 6 o'clock, right? So then what do you do then? Well, then people say, okay, well, there's these third-party answering services, these call centers that I can pay. You can hire them, and then usually what we hear there is they don't follow my directions. Why aren't they following your directions? Because one person is having to answer for a dozen different businesses. So all they have is they jot a few notes down about your business and that's what's in front of them, right? But they don't know your business inside and out. And, you know, it, people don't like those jobs. They're really high turnover. So they're constantly switching employees. And it's still expensive, right? So that's what you get with sort of a traditional third party answering service. And then there's the third bucket, which is just send them the voicemail, right? And then you listen to it in the morning. So I think the pushback I often get is I don't like talking to AI. I can fully understand that. But the question is, do you think that that experience of talking to AI, could that be better than some of those alternatives? And what we see is oftentimes it is.
Yeah, so it's not AI or else, right? It's not give me liberty, give me death. It's not burn the ships. And I like that you're talking about it like this because when you talk to people about this, and we've had some people on the pod talking about developing the AI person, if you will, the AI chat, talking to somebody, and you feel like you get a little bit of too much of the sales part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so your LinkedIn profile says death to voicemail. So you're actually kind of being, I don't know, you're being very nice about it right now. But what are you seeing? You're obviously a lot younger than the both of us. I mean, people in your generation, which are, the consumers right now, the future of the country, they get a voicemail. What do they do?
Well, I think even business owners, often there's a delay in them listening to their voicemail. One is they're busy, and the second is also spam calls, right? You've got this mix of missed calls from actual customers, from spammers. You look through your call log, you're not sure what's what by the time you get to your voicemail. I mean, the problem is voicemails either don't have the information you need to follow up, right? So you're listening to the voicemail and it's like, "Hey, Chris, this is Alfredo. I'm calling because I need some work done," and you keep listening and you're hoping you get the info you need and then you don't get it, right? Um, so that's sort of one of the pros is this AI receptionist can collect the information that you need and then just send that to you in a text. So you don't even have to listen to the recording of the call. You get a text with everything that you need.
So I like that idea. Um, so in this case, am I talking to the AI receptionist or is it gathering it through chat and text?
So at the moment, at least our product right now is just over the phone, right? So you call and this thing talks to you. And usually what I recommend to people is like treat your customers like adults. AI is good, but you can still tell that it's not a real human, at least most of the time, right? So usually what I recommend to people is don't try to pass this off like a human. Tell people that it's an AI receptionist. So, for
Yeah,
example, we
lean
have
into it. Yeah.
a number of HVAC companies that use us, right? And they come because they say, "Hey, I'm using this other answering service that's supposed to just collect the address, find out if it's an emergency, and if it is, and if we've serviced that person in the last 2 years, then send a text to one of my techs who's on call and tell them to go." But what happens is they, again, they miss that script and then they end up texting a tech at 2 a.m. for someone who they've never serviced before or is outside of their service area. So this thing, you call, it answers, "Hey, thanks for calling All Pro HVAC. I'm the team's after hours AI receptionist. Is this an emergency?" And then you say yes, and then it says, "Okay, great. Let me collect your address, make sure you're within our service area." You provide the address, and then it goes down the script. "Okay, great. Have we serviced your HVAC unit within the last 2 years?" And then you say no, and it's like, "Unfortunately, we can only go out there, if we've serviced it," right? So it follows this script and through a conversation gathers the information that you need.
Huh.
And what kind of results are your HVAC companies telling you they've had with this?
I mean, it's just so much cheaper than what they're paying other companies. So my co-founder Gene, he's an attorney. He was paying $300 a month for 30 phone calls answered, and he was paying, top dollar, the best third-party answering service out there. And he was just like, "This is crazy. All I'm asking them to collect is name, email, and what's the reason for your call. There's got to be a better way to do this." And so this is $25 and essentially does the same thing.
Wow.
How customizable is this?
It's very customizable. I mean, there's a lot still that we want to do, but essentially, you've got a knowledge base and you can stick in information about your prices. You can stick in information about how you want quotes provided, what's your process, whatever you would want a human receptionist to know. You stick that in the knowledge base and it doesn't forget. And then you can tell it, under these situations, I want you to transfer a call to me. If someone says they're an existing customer, just patch them through to my cell phone as an example. Can send text messages too. So it's very, very customizable, right? We've got everybody from like home services to dog groomers. So you adjust it based on how do you want calls answered.
So my assumption is let's say Chris signs up for this and he's got the new AI assistant, and can he then listen to some of these calls and then start looking for patterns? And it's like, okay, maybe we need to tweak the process here a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? Because you're not going to get this perfect right off the bat. You're going to listen to calls and realize, hey, I forgot something. So yeah, each time a call comes in, you get an email, you get a text, and then you can go in, you can listen to it and realize, I kind of want to tweak the script a little bit.
And so, as we're talking about this real quick, what's the name of your product, real quick, so everybody has it?
It's upfirst.ai.
Upfirst.ai. Go check that out. Listen to that, Alan talking about this stuff. So let's talk a little bit more about the over-empathetic AI person. Oh, Alfredo, I'm so sorry to hear about your HVAC not working. How can I help you? Oh, well, that really must be bad. What else can I do to help you? They're over-empathetic. They over-talk. How do you pull them back?
So there's some, I would call them global settings to RAI, which is be concise. And I hate this too. Even talking to like ChatGPT, when you tell it something and you're like, and then it responds to you and it's like, you are a genius and this is the greatest
Yeah,
idea that
right.
you've
I
ever
love that,
had.
though.
No, I can't stand that.
I want.
I already know I am. I don't need you to tell
I
me.
need the praise, even if it's
Do you
fake.
really?
Even if it's fake.
Oh, Chris, that's a great idea. I think you have a $1
Yeah.
million idea. You're
Keep
gonna,
telling me how good that idea is.
the Small Business Safari may be the best podcast out there in the world. And because I've even said, hey, chat, how can I take down Smartless and Joe Rogan as the podcast? Great idea, Chris. I think you can do it if you follow these steps.
See,
like it's
love
you can't.
that. I love that. I love
All
that.
This drives me crazy when sometimes I'm cooking and I'll say like, hey, I'm making this. What would you like? These are the ingredients I have. What could I whip together? And it'll be like, here's a few things that sound absolutely delicious. And I'm like, how would you know?
Right? How would
could
you know?
possibly know?
I just did that for a drink recipe, and by the way, I over-limed the shit out of it.
What were the ingredients you threw at it?
So
You
I
can
said,
over lime? I don't
so
think
here's
it's
what.
possible.
Oh.
Well, hang on. It was supposed to be a sweet one. So I had bought a can of lychee berries with lychee syrup, and we're going to make a lychee martini for my wife and I, and she likes a sweet martini. And so I said, all right, I'm going to make this before she comes home. I'm going to do something nice. Because I was
I
in
don't know
trouble.
how to process this.
No, don't worry. I was in trouble.
Was it Valentine's Day?
No, I missed Valentine's Day. Totally whiffed on that one. That was a long time ago.
Oh, God.
So it said 1 ounce lychee, 1 ounce lime. So I went 1 ounce lychee, 1 ounce lime, 2 ounces vodka. Even though it said one, I say, fuck it. I'm trying to get lucky. So I keep going. and I tasted it. I'm like, oh my God, this thing's over lime. Next thing I know, I had to like pour the whole syrup of lychee.
You made a picture of it.
I made it. I made a lot of it. Yeah.
Did it work?
Brown chicken, brown. Let's go, Alfredo. But right, it doesn't know. So you've got to understand. And so let's go back to AI and why in your business it can get a little askew, right? So
Well, it goes back to the customizable question. I mean, so if Chris and I are both customers, can his be just blunt and unempathetic, and mine can, with double birds being thrown, and can mine be a little bit more folksy and warm?
and warm and cuddling and let me tell me a little bit more about your problem.
Well, because
Okay,
my
sure.
business is the more trusted toolbox.
Yeah,
Can I be
still.
more trustworthy than Chris on my AI?
Land the plane. Let him answer the question.
I have seen a range. I'm shocked by how varied the opinions are of how people want their calls handled, right? It can be everything from voices. Some people, they're like, why is this voice so enthusiastic? Like, it sounds way, way too excited for my business, right? And so for those people, we have voices that are way more mellow, right? And then there's other people who are like, I want my brand to have the most excited person answer the phone. And so for those people, there's a whole different range of voices. And then same thing even in just the conversation. Like there's two extremes. I've had roofers who sign up and they're like, I want this thing to know everything there is to know about roofing. Like, I want it to be a roofing expert and to act as a roofing expert on calls. And then there's attorneys who are like, this thing better not pretend like it is a law expert. I want it to
Right.
not
Right.
like, don't just collect the email, collect their name, get the number, and I will call them back. Right. And so all of those things can be configured.
I could just see that now. Hey, thank you for calling Chris's attorney injury at law. What can I do to help you? Yes, I was just in an accident. What can I do? Oh my God, you were in an accident? How amazing. Let me help you. What happened? I broke my
Right.
leg and some guy who was uninsured hit me. Oh my God, we have a great opportunity for you.
You deserve a
we,
lot of money.
We are going to get you a lot of money.
Have you okay, this would be so much fun being you in this business because I would love to play with, okay, is a male voice better or a female voice better? Is it a little bit of a British accent or a little Southern accent? I mean, have you started playing around with that kind of stuff?
I mean, most people, I would say 80% of people pick a female voice. We have had people who are like, get me a very Southern sounding, deep Texan voice. So we have that. There's Australian, we've got Colombian Spanish and then Spain Spanish. So, I mean,
Right.
Oh.
Alfredo from Peru knows this, is that here in the U.S., all the Spanish that we learn is Colombian Spanish.
But Chris went to Barcelona
I
once.
did go
and
to
so,
Barcelona,
yeah.
and I learned Spanish in the Spanish, the true Spanish.
Cap-
And
Castilian.
as you know, they are truly elitist. But that's how I grew up, was learning the true Spanish with the thus. That's right. So interesting, but most people want women.
yep, most people want women.
Give me this Southern drawl thing. There's no way. I can't buy this.
I will give you the number to call afterward. I mean, we have it like on our testing account. We use the Clint from Texas. We call him. Thank you for
Clint.
calling up first. How may I help you? You know, it's like
Oh my
really,
God.
really.
Oh, and see, Alfredo.
I don't
here's
think
the
any
thing.
customers use it, but it's an option on there because
It doesn't say help, it
we
says
like
help.
it for testing.
How can I help you?
You know, Alfredo, you get to say, I actually am Southern. I'm a Southern U.S. guy. So where's the drawl, bro? Yeah, what I'm saying? It ain't happening. So,
Oh yeah, can you do a New York Italian accent?
hey, forget about it. What you calling for?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you have that?
We'll add it.
No, don't add it for me. No, I don't want that. I want
But
I
a
want
good
the
chunk of
female.
the United States probably wants that. They don't. People in Boston, New York, Philly, they don't want Southern drawl.
Well, here's what they don't want to. Oh my gosh, that sounds so great. You blew up your water heater. What happened? Oh my, your water is completely flooded. Your house is flooded.
How's your mom and them?
Oh my house, your mom.
The
You
the
got me on that
trippy
one.
the trippy part is it can speak multiple languages and it switches immediately depending on what the caller says. And all of the voices can speak every language, right? But some have an accent. So it's kind of fun to talk to the Clint from Texas voice and then switch to Spanish, and you're getting this deep Southern Texan Spanish.
Oh my God. All right, so let's back up and get a little more practical because I can go way down this. I mean,
Me llamo.
Me
Me llamo Clint.
Me llamo Clint.
How can I help you?
Ayuda. All right, so uh, this, are most of your clients, are they B2B, B2C? What are we looking at mostly here?
It tends to be, small mom and pop business, solopreneurs, roofing, dog washing. I mentioned HVAC, there's contractors, some solo real estate agents. So it's really all over the place. Attorneys.
All right, so I get it. So you don't want to scale, you don't have an office, and you're B2C, so you're taking a lot of calls from a lot of crazies. My question has always been, especially here in Atlanta, is that every once in a while I get some Southern, and I get some Southern with some Southern
Oh,
on
how
top
well
of
can
stuff.
the AI understand
Tell me how they're
Steve Beacham?
yeah. Tell me how they can figure out Steve Beach and say my number is 770-444-34324. I mean, tell me you can translate that. How do they do that?
Some of this is beyond my technical understanding. The speech to text, though, it's amazing. It's really is impressive how well it's able to capture stuff. And recently, one thing though that we've had to do as we've grown and sort of you get more calls, see what goes wrong. is add noise cancellation, right? There's a difference between testing this product inside your house and then actual customers who are calling when they're driving. They've got their kid crying in the back, and you need to be able to distinguish what the person's saying from background noise. So at the beginning, there'd be customers who are like, why isn't this thing responding to me? Then I'd listen to their test call. And I'm like, well, your TV is on volume like 75. And so the AI thinks the TV is the person talking and thinks that you haven't stopped talking.
Well, to be fair, actually, my PA daughter, who's about to graduate and get off the payroll, did clear my ears out, and she took out pea size. And I said that in front of her.
It's disgusting.
It
Are
is
you
bad.
really going there?
Yeah, no, but the same thing. I had my volume on my TV. I was getting ready to get hearing aids. I was like at 60. I'm like, here I am, very old, but not that old, but old, and got him out, and now I can hear great. So I hear what he's saying, because how about this? The person sits out in their back deck with the blower out there going, "Brrr, brrr." Hi, Clint. I'm out here in the back, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out my deck and stuff. And, when I got hit in the car and stuff, and I don't know and stuff, and it happened and stuff. And I need you guys to come over here and fix it up and all, what I'm saying? All right, come on now. I mean, how does AI handle that shit?
I mean, again, in some that's why we have to add noise cancellation. We use a technology called CRISP that somehow is able to cut out a lot of that noise.
I think I need some of that in my life.
You know what? It's funny. We have AI called Chris. All I started laughing about was anti-Chris.
Crisp with a P.
Oh,
I
P.
think.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So, Alfredo, obviously, Alan and I may be a little bit crazier than you,
I do want to ask.
but we're gonna go.
Huh?
Go.
Oh yeah. So you already kind of talked about the fact that your partner was spending all this money, which when you threw out a number didn't seem like that much money or whatever. But so this is an affordable solution for people. Is it a monthly subscription kind of thing, no matter the volume, or is it per call? How does that work for the people that call in?
Yeah, so most of these businesses are per minute. When we were starting, I was like, who the hell knows how many minutes they're spending on the phone? I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
so we decided to just do per call, right? So if it's a 3 minute call or a 10 minute call, it doesn't matter. And there's different tiers based on the number of calls you get. So the cheapest plan is 25 bucks a month for 30 calls. Then you go past that and you just pay per call. And then if it's spam, we have AI that checks the
Did you
transcript.
just say
And if it's,
25 bucks a month for 30 calls?
yep.
I mean that's
Time out, Alfredo. That's where I was going to.
yeah, you need to
We're
raise
kind of
your price.
crazy here and all,
You need to jack
but
that up.
seriously, bro, for 25 bucks a fucking month, sign me the fuck right up right now. Hey, guys, everybody,
He's
give me
got a
that number one more time, because get in now, because gas prices are going up. It's all going up,
Alfredo's going to figure out he's giving it away too cheap
and
right
you
now.
better get on this thing right now. Alfredo, hit it one more time.
What?
Well, it's actually $24.95 a month, but I just say 25. It's $24.95 a month.
Oh, that's
for
way
30
more. That's
calls.
way more.
Dude, no, he is so not a salesman. And you guys, listen to this, right? That's why we bring real people on.
So for 25 bucks a month, you will. Is there a setup fee?
No, there's no setup fee.
And so I can give you my script. You'll work with me and customize it, and then it's just 25 bucks a month.
Exactly, for 30 calls. You go past that, and then it's $1.50 per call. And if it's
Alan.
spam, it doesn't count towards your calls.
Alan, I'm speaking for all this small venture team right now. Can you shut the hell up? He is onto something, and he's doing something good. Give it a shot, guys. Here's the thing. That's a no-brainer. Give it a shot. That's what we talk about. Alfredo's not a sales guy. If he is really veiled and doing really good, and he just might F me. in the heck
He's
out of it.
totally incepted.
And he's not. No, because we talked about this before. But guys, give it a shot, because you're in. You can try it. 25 bucks a month. No. Is there any 12-month guarantee? 12 months. I got to.
But that's for 30 calls. Now, what if?
Is there a contract though? Can I quit?
Well, probably. But
Yeah, you can cancel, and you don't have to.
See, I
Don't
told
you have
you.
to call
Remember
us?
the
or
curiosity?
but out of 30 calls, 20 of them are spam.
Well, he kills those. You only pay for 10.
I don't know. How does
That's
that
what he said.
So you pay that $24.95 a month, regardless of whether you get 10 or so we don't bill you per call, right? You pay for a bucket of calls. If 20 of them are spam, so the AI checks the transcripts, and if it's spam, it's marked as spam. You can see right within the app which ones we marked as spam, so it's not confusing of which ones are you counting as spam, and those you're not billed for. So you could get 60 calls, 30 are real calls, 30 are spam. We're not billing you,
This is just
double.
kind of going into the you're a dumbass if you don't do this category.
Alan, I like to clean your language up a little bit.
I'm
And
sorry.
I would call it a
I'm so raw.
no-brainer that you could try this out.
Channel
Guys,
Clint from Texas.
Can I give this is going to be me being a bad salesman again, but I want to give one example of someone who this isn't right for, which is I think is if you're just getting started. If you're just getting your business started and you're thinking about how am I going to handle overflow calls and you don't have any customers yet, I kind of think that when you're starting a business, you should probably handle every single
You
call
should
yourself.
take every call. That's great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because even as I grew throughout the many phases, everybody says, "Chris, how do you grow?" I'm like, or what was the most challenging part of your growth? I'm like, I can't even tell you. I said, here I am 18 years later, and I would tell you last month really sucked, and Alan's heard me in the dark periods even while we've been doing the podcast. But you're right. As you grow, this is not the time. But as you have grown and it hurts so much that you can't answer those calls in the evening or you're answering those calls on the weekends instead of going to your kids' events because you started your own business, that's the time. That's the time. And look, the barrier of entry with Alfredo's solution is very low.
Zero. Yeah, it's a couple of lattes.
And I'm gonna be your salesman for you because I've tried call centers, and the stats are if you don't answer the call on the first call, your likelihood of sale goes down 80% in the home services industry. It's hard, but I would tell you the likelihood of you getting the job with a call answered like absolute 1,000% piling turd of shit is zero. So don't do that. Don't go to a call center that sucks. Go to this. At least you capture it and you get a shot.
Well, and the fact that he talks about the fact that they just make it obvious it's AI, because if you pretend, then that's off-putting too. But if it's like, hey, it's after hours, everybody knows it's after hours. So I'm assuming you've got a lot of solopreneurs that just have this on 24/7. But in the case of somebody like Chris, who's actually got a good staff during the day, then it would just be an after-hours thing.
Yeah, you can do it 24/7. You can do it after hours. And then another thing you can do is just have it be your missed calls, right? So that way your phone rings, if it's your biggest customer, you see it's them calling and you answer. If it's an unknown number, you're not really sure, you're in the middle of something, then click decline and it goes to the receptionist instead of your voicemail.
Nice. Guys,
Wow.
we're coming to the end on this one. Let's plug it one more time because I got to ask Alfredo another question.
Yeah. Where do they get it? Is it you said it was an app or?
Yep, you just look just go to upfirst.ai or look up First AI receptionist and we'll pop up.
So what's the process like when somebody, sorry, Chris, I know you had a question, but okay. So I'm somebody, I'm interested. I realize $25 a month or whatever it is a no-brainer. I hit the app. It walks me through what process. At some point, am I talking to you and you're working on a script with me? How does that work?
Yeah, so you sign up, you'll put in your website, and then it'll sort of suck some information from your website just to get started. And then from there, you can customize the script, right? If you want some help, you can just book a call with us. We'll jump on a call. Usually within 30 minutes, we've got someone set up. And then once you can, of course, call the receptionist to test it, see how it's going. We don't bill you for the test calls. And then once you feel comfortable with how it's answering, you start forwarding calls from your existing business line, right? So that way you don't have to give out a new number to all your customers. You just forward calls from your current number.
So from clicking on the app to actually having it in my business, how long does that take?
It can be as short as 30 minutes, right? If it's a pretty simple call flow, if you're someone who, this is you've got a really complex business with all these different scripts and different people to transfer it to. We've had people who we spend a week troubleshooting different scripts until they're satisfied.
A week. Kiss my butt. That's awesome. Clint from Texas says, kiss my big old grits butt. Well, we can keep going. Alfredo, this has been awesome, man. I love this. We're talking about this, but before we keep going, let's make this thing a little bit more real. So, Alfredo, we asked you before you got on here, hey, man, why are you doing this? Well, I'm getting my name out there. Hey, is this your gig? Not really, man. I really don't. I don't like the networking part. It's not really my gig. It's not my thing. Because you can tell that you're very introverted and a little quiet. I mean, I can tell. And what we talked about was, hey, you're really not because you are bringing the heat today, right?
100%.
Yeah. And you and Alan, and I was like, that's what the one thing I wanted to say. I'm not probably not a question, but a statement first is that yeah, I love being out there. As we talked about before on the podcast, I bounce off the walls if I don't talk to people. If you put me in my house for 24 hours and said I couldn't talk to anybody, I would absolutely go probably crazy. I would probably be slitting something. But you guys can handle it, and but yet you learned how to extrovert, as introverts talk to us extroverts. So as you went through this and had to put yourself out there in the podcast world, just talk a little bit about what you had to go through to get to this, because I think a lot of people will be interested in why you do this.
Yeah, I mean, this opens up a whole nother area that we could talk about some other time. But I stepped away from I've worked in software and software marketing for many, many years. During COVID, I stepped away and was running a beekeeping business, and we would install and maintain honeybee hives in people's backyards. And that's like one of the biggest challenges I had to go through because I suddenly went from this sort of digital world of I'm sending people emails and Slack messages to having to get comfortable face to face selling to people, selling them on this idea that they should set up a beehive in their backyard and pay us each month to come take care of it. And it was a completely different game than what I was doing before. And I think that experience made me a sort of much better entrepreneur because I had to get comfortable with myself in different environments, talking to people, selling to them, educating them. It was invaluable.
Was it rewarding?
100%. Yeah, most rewarding thing I've done.
So crazy, right?
But it's exhausting. Just
It is. All right. So you guys, after this podcast, I know you guys will be tired.
I just have to go into a dark room.
And I'm going to come off here just bouncing off the walls. That's why I love coming to this podcast and meeting with my good friend Al and bringing you guys the heat and the small business adventure team. Alfredo, you brought the heat today too. This has been amazing stuff. Excuse me, but we've got to ask our final four questions. You ready?
I think these are going to be interesting.
All right. Give us a book you'd recommend to our small business adventure team that we all should read.
The Lost Art of Closing by Anthony Iannarino.
Dude, again, you guys and your introverted little "I'm so smarter than everybody else" thing.
I know.
That's a great
you
fucking line.
If you just shut up and listen to us.
Have you read that book?
No, I have never heard of it. I'm going to go look it up. That sounds like a great book.
It's so good. It's so good.
Give us a nugget from it.
Yeah.
It changed the way I sell stuff because I think before, you ever heard this idea of if you're chasing something, it runs away? That's how I approached every time I was trying to sell something. It was like, there's this sales guy, Josh Braun, who I really like his advice, and he talks about commission breath, and people can tell when you have commission breath.
Yeah, man.
I love
And this book
that.
rewired me to think about myself like a consultant. And now, even when I'm helping someone set up their receptionist, I'm no longer trying to get them to sign up. I'm curious about them, and the idea is, how can I help you? If you were I imagine they're paying me $1,000 an hour and I am their consultant, and sometimes the advice is I don't think you should use our product, and that's okay. Weirdly enough, you turn people away and somehow the right people end up finding you. And so the idea of this book is be a consultative salesperson.
Gold nugget.
Cheers and applause from the audience. Alfredo goes deep, ninth inning, and he wins. All right. Number 2, what's the favorite feature of your own home?
Oh, our backyard. We spend so much time back there. We've got the chicken coop.
How many
Dug a
chickens?
little pond. 5 chickens.
Does that give you enough eggs?
It gives us a lot of eggs.
Hey, Alfredo, how can we get some eggs? If I gotta find, I'm gonna find my way to Durham. Damn it! I want fresh eggs.
You find if you find yourself in Durham, North Carolina, definitely reach out.
Alfredo, I'm looking you up, brother.
Do you have a beehive? Do you have a beehive in your yard?
And do you have a beehive? Yeah, that's right.
I wish I did. I did for many years, but I had to come to terms with my yard is too shady for bees. They like it in a nice sunny spot. You get fewer pests in the beehive that way.
And then you have a beehive, and then all of a sudden they just decided to up and go.
I never heard that
And
either.
the whole hive just leaves.
Actually, I got one friend who does beehives in Alabama. Yeah, it's his retirement hobby. Well, he was doing it before that, but I'm so interested. But I'm also so deathly afraid of.
Bees
Yeah, that's right.
being stung.
It's being stung.
So I have a buddy who's a
Keep
beekeeper,
calm,
and he
Chris.
said,
Keep calm, Chris.
and
Keep calm, Chris.
he would send me videos, or like he just picks up the stray bees with his fingers and he puts them in there. But then there was the day that he was weed eating around, and apparently the bees thought that that was some like giant hornet, and then they just decided to swarm and attack, and he just got stung to death almost.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
No, I know you're supposed to stay calm and know how to work with them. And I got it. So I hear you. I just see it happening. All right, Alfredo, here we go. We haven't talked about it much, but we're talking about AI and the whole world. It's coming, dude. I think we're going to show up, and the hostess is going to be this AI robot. Hello, Chris. How can I help you sit? What's your name? My name is Betty. No, it's not. You're a robot. Okay, I'm in a whole different world. What's a customer service pet peeve of yours when you're out there and you're the customer?
Having to repeat myself when they transfer you to another department and they say, "How can I help you?" And you're like, "I already said this. I already said this."
Dude,
We
that
actually
just happened to
just,
me.
as of today, added memory to our AI receptionist so that if someone calls back a second time, it remembers they are calling again because it's
Woo!
nuts.
Oh, good call, man. That's a great call because you're right. Right? You call, you authenticate yourself. You've done it. You're in the same system. You're in the same deal. And they go, hey, just for personal reasons or security reasons, but I think still personal, can you re-authenticate yourself? I'm like, sure. Are you going to help me up? And then, of course, they ask the quintessential, is there anything else I can help you with? Well, if you could have helped me with the first thing, we wouldn't be talking. All right. Alfredo, great question. Last one. Give us a DIY nightmare story. I want death, dismemberment, actually not death, but dismemberment.
Just some
Maybe some fingers that are a little off anymore. You know, say I'm just putting them up for everybody on YouTube.
or being stung by a hive.
No, I don't want to stung by it. Well, maybe.
It
All
could
right,
be.
let's see. Let's let him
I
answer.
don't know if this isn't quite, this isn't DIY, so I don't know if it counts. You can tell me. Um, we were installing a lighting fixture, and this is the first home I've owned. And I always thought, at some point I'll figure out where my water shutoff valve is, but that's something for a later date.
Wait
And
for
then
it.
they
Wait
came to
for it,
install
Alan. It's
this, and
gonna be
I
really
said,
good.
"Hey, I think that there could be a water pipe that runs behind this wall." And they're like, "Yeah, no, we're worried about that too. Don't worry, we're going to be super careful." 3 seconds later, I'm upstairs and I just hear gushing water, and I run down, and electrician is holding their thumb to the pipe, trying to keep the water, but it's just spraying everywhere into the ceiling. I'm running around like crazy trying to figure out where is the water shutoff valve in my house. So if you don't know when you're listening, find your water shutoff
Yeah,
valve.
know
where
it
is.
ahead of time.
You know what? PSA, always know where your water shutoff is. Always know where your electrical panel is. Two things. PSA,
Gas.
as a guy who does it, and your gas shutoff. That's right. If you have gas coming in your home, you got propane tanks. Oh, Alfredo. Oh, my God. That one brings back so many memories. I've done a lot, Alan.
Have you, Chris?
I have to my house and to myself, and forget the fingers that go in 6 different ways. I've done them all. So that's why I asked the question and the feet don't even ask me about it, but the puncture wounds are healing up. It's only been 25 years, 22 years, and 13. Actually, in 10 now. So it's only happened a couple times.
That was some interesting math you just went through.
Well, I'm just talking about every time I've actually stepped on a nail.
That's the
They're fun. Guys, one more time. Let's go find Alfredo. Alfredo, how can we find you on LinkedIn and your company?
Search Alfredo up first. That's probably going to be faster than trying to spell my last name, but you could try Alfredo Salkeld. That's Salkeld, or just look up first AI receptionist.
Up first.
first.
Up first. Get going. Let's go. Make it happen.
Big
Guys,
no-brainer.
grasp it. It's happening. AI. Find those small wins every time you do things in business. Don't let people swarm you with this whole thing, because what happened to me when I started my business? SEO. You got to do this, got to do that. Don't let people oversmart you, man. We're the smart people here. Keep going up that mountain. Go make it happen. We got Alan. We got Chris. We're going to make it happen. Go get it, Alfredo.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks so much.